Welcome back to Dropped In. I am beyond stoked to be here with you and to share a microdose hit of magic and medicine with you today. And today we're dropping into all things Kundalini Yoga and meditation because it is everything. It is the absolute best practice, and I'm going to share some really fun stories with you. And before you leave, I just invite you to stay because there's a reason why I am so passionate about Kundalini Yoga. And I once thought it was like the weirdest thing and that I absolutely wanted nothing to do with it. And now here I am 4 or 5 years later, teaching on the regular and incorporating it into my daily routine, my daily practice, my sadhana, my spiritual practice. So I invite you to hold on, hold tight, and be here with me and really drop into why I love Kundalini and why, if you haven't tried it, I invite you to try it. So my very first class, I actually did Kundalini Yoga when I was like super young through Parks and Rec of all places. And I had an incredible experience, but I definitely forgot all about it. And so as an adult, my friend Nicole was like, let's go to Kundalini. And so I was like, okay, let's do it. And I was like, oh my goodness, what are we doing? Because in my mind, I thought Kundalini was super weird. You know, everyone is dressed in white and some wear turbans and some of the music is really old and ancient and it sounds like it's playing off of a cassette tape. And so I'm open to trying everything, almost everything. And so I went with her, and I remember like I was totally in my head looking around. She drove, by the way. And so I'm looking around the room and I'm like, what the hell are we doing? And I felt so uncomfortable. I just wanted to get out of there. I was totally in my head, totally over-analyzing and questioning and just thinking like, this is the weirdest thing. We're breathing heavily, we're chanting, we're holding postures for an extended period of time. I'm like, when is this over? And if I had the keys to the car, I probably would have left because it felt so uncomfortable. And I had no other choice but to get out of my head and into my body. And I always say, soul leads, body calibrates, mind follows. So I really allowed my soul to lead the way and my body to calibrate. And then, of course, my mind was like, okay, we have no other choice but to do this. And so in that class, I swear to you, I know this sounds dramatic and it sounds a bit out there. However, in that one single class, because I chose to lean into the resistance, I chose to get out of my own way, I chose to get out of my head because I didn't have any other choice. In that one single class, I swear to you, I was able to close a chapter of my life that I was like holding on to. I was like, for whatever reason, I was just like lingering in this energy. And in that one single class, I was able to close the chapter and move beyond it. And so I remember going up to the teacher and like having like the big deer eyes and just like, oh my God, I had like this profound transformation, this profound experience, and the playlist and this and that. And I was just like all over it. I was just obsessed with it. And I'm so grateful that A, I didn't have the keys to the car. B, I got out of my head and into my body. And C, I allowed myself to have a profound experience, of which has been one of the biggest catalysts for my healing journey. And I don't say that lightly. And so after that class, I became a regular student, and I was actually hosting a retreat in Costa Rica. And there was this incredible new age, modern Kundalini teacher. And I was like, what is this? Who is this? This is like amazing. The playlist was lit. It was just like so good. I remember just being in that class and just being like, it was like an extra class that we had our students, our clients come to us with to experience Kundalini. That was a side note. But anyways, I had this profound experience with this teacher and I was like, this is freaking next level. Like I just left there feeling so high on life, so stoked, so grounded, so centered, so clear, like all the feels, all the goods. And so I was like, I'm doing it. I'm declaring, I actually declared at the end of that retreat that I was co-hosting. We all put out into the universe what we were like calling in, what we were creating. And I kid you not, I was like, I'm going to be becoming a Kundalini teacher and I'm going to build a studio at my home, both of which have come true. And this is the power of Kundalini Yoga because it is the yoga of awareness. And so it really is about moving beyond our negative mind, moving beyond our ego, and coming into opening up the channel to our self-source power, opening up the channel to divinity, opening up the channel to our highest self, and really coming into the space of developing this unshakable trust between you and you, this unbreakable bond between you and you. And it works like magic because it's so effective in regulating your nervous system. It works on balancing your glandular system, and it also clears out the garbage from your subconscious mind. So if you know me, I'm obsessed with the subconscious mind work, and I'm obsessed with nervous system regulation because if you've been listening to the podcast, you know that I've come from some really dark, murky waters, and I was suicidal, I was depressed, I was anxious, I had an eating disorder, and I honestly don't know where I'd be today without Kundalini. And again, I don't say that lightly. And so what's powerful about Kundalini, especially with the nervous system regulation, so I just shared about like how I'm like a master manifester. I'm just going to say that right now. I can literally call in whatever it is that I want. It's ridiculous. And I know the power of having a regulated nervous system because it allows you to not only hold more and create more and do more, but it also allows you to manifest more. And so you can really hold the energy and really support your body in calibrating to this next level expansion of what you are calling in. So this is the power of Kundalini because we're really working on releasing emotional and energetic blocks. We're really working with our chakra system, the specific meridians in your body, all the things to really give yourself this emotional and energetic reset. It is potent and it is powerful, and it has allowed me to heal on such a deep level without having to relive any past events, experiences, traumas. And it works as a somatic release. And so because of that, so when we experience events, traumatic events, whether it's a big T or a little t, big trauma, small trauma, our body holds on to that as a way of protection, which also keeps us captive in this state of going into the fight-flight state. And so what Kundalini does, because it works on all the things, nervous system, glandular system, subconscious mind, it allows you to release this stuck trauma that your body's been holding on to without having to relive any event, any experience. It is incredible. I have released so much on my mat, I can't even begin to tell you. I am actually going to tell you inside my book that I'm writing right now. Kundalini is in there. So, but it has allowed me to really come home to my truth, come home to my center. It has allowed me to open up to infinite possibilities. And again, I know I'm making big statements, but I don't say this lightly. I am so passionate about this because it has literally changed my life, and I have seen countless lives being changed. And so since I've incorporated this into my life, into my daily routine, and since I have been teaching on the regular, consistently 4 to 5 times a week, my passion project is that I teach at a treatment center. So I was a nurse I was a nurse for a very long time. I don't nurse anymore. I'm retired, but I remember working there and seeing these clients, so beautiful, and they kept relapsing. And it was like, okay, like I know the power of what is possible for my healing journey because of what Kundalini has done for me and my recovery. And I'm not saying like this was the cure-all and end-all by any means, but I know the power of Kundalini. So I proposed that I teach at the treatment center just to see, because there's this one specific individual. He's the brightest light, the most beautiful soul. And I think he had been to treatment, I think he was around 25, something like that, maybe a little bit older, but anyways, regardless, he'd been to treatment about 7 or 8 times. And I was like, and he would come visit me and we'd have these great conversations about spirituality and all the things. And so I proposed to the clinical team that we trial Kundalini because it's very effective in supporting people with mental health and addictions as well. There's actual specialized course in Kundalini that I've taken that is really supportive in supporting people with mental health and addictions. So I proposed to them that we try it out. And the transformations that I saw and continue to see in these rooms are awe-inspiring. To be able to release years of trauma, to be able to release like suppressed emotions and stuck stagnant energy, and to really come back to your truth, to come back to your center, to come back to your power is life-giving. It's like there is no dollar amount that you could pay to receive this type of transformation. And so, side note, 3 years later, this person is clean, is sober. He's now working at the treatment center. He's engaged. And, you know, I'm not saying Kundalini saved his life, but I do know he was obsessed with it. He was so passionate about it. It did so much for him that I know that it was a huge contributing factor to where he is today. And I am not saying it's me, I'm saying it's Kundalini. Oftentimes clients come up to me after class, they're like, you just changed my life. I'm like, no way. No way am I taking that credit. It was you, and it was this technology called Kundalini. I am not your guru. I will never take your power away. If there are teachers, which I've had, toxic teachers who really took my power away, I'm not going to go there because it just makes me disgusted. But I am not that teacher. I am the teacher that sees you, that believes in you, that holds space for you to create your own transformation, for you to really drop into your self-sourced power, and for you to unlock this power that lays dormant within you. This is the Kundalini energy, the Shakti energy, the energy that brings forth self-awareness and emotional intelligence, and really allows you to not only heal on a deep physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual level, but it really supports you in all ways, always. Honestly, I use this practice not only for my healing, but for also cultivating these big, audacious things I'm doing in my life. It is what has allowed me to when I was going through one of the biggest launches to date within my business, and also simultaneously working through some of the most stressful family dynamics to date, where a family member, we almost lost her twice. She went into ICU twice. Navigating that while launching this huge mastermind, I used Kundalini to support myself. And I was regulated, grounded, centered, clear the entire time. And so Kundalini has allowed me to not only heal on a deep emotional, energetic, physical, spiritual level, but has also supported me in calling in my deepest desires, my big picture visions, and all the things that I'm here to co-create. And I continually use it on the daily to support myself, to support my nervous system. Because if you are in business, if you are a soulpreneur, entrepreneur, your business will only grow to the extension that your body, your nervous system is able to hold, to calibrate to. And this is my secret weapon for the success that I've had. I have created an abundance of success within my business, and I attest a huge component of it to Kundalini. So you can tell that I'm obsessed with it. You can tell that I'm in love with it. You can tell that it's part of my dharma. I literally drive an hour to teach for an hour and then drive home for an hour. Most people think I'm nuts, but I am so passionate about this technology and what it has done for me and what I've seen it do for others, that I know it's part of my dharma. It's part of what I'm here to do. And so I have a mission. I have one of my big picture visions, and so I need your help. I created Satnam Sessions, which is your wellness studio, virtual wellness studio, and it's filled with, I think there's over 120 practices in there now. It's next level. So we have a lounge called the Breath Lounge, which is all specific breath work that you can go to. And I'm actually taking more breath work certification right now. So I'm going to be adding even more good stuff in there, which is so effective in all the things. Then we have a section strictly for meditations. So you can go in there and choose whatever meditation that you want to practice for the day, or you can choose a meditation to meditate with for 40 days and beyond. We have power practices. So if you want to have like a quick hit of Kundalini, a quick fix, there's classes in there that I've created that are 30 minutes or less to get that quick hit. We also have a portal for full-on Kundalini Yoga and Meditation classes that are at a length of an hour, because I want to keep it accessible for you, and so that it's easy for you to fit into your day-to-day. And then every Thursday, I add a new class, a new content to the portal. So there's fresh content every week, and you have an abundance of options to choose from. And when I first shared about Kundalini, opening up this convo, I shared about like how weird it is and all the things. And I take the weirdness away from it. So I follow the technology, the Kriyas, to a T. And I also don't wear all white. I mainly wear white t-shirts, black leggings. I don't wear a head covering. I play the best music. My playlists are next level, and I'm not stingy with my music. I also share that as well. And so I have really come into the space of owning modern Kundalini Yoga, just like that experience that I had in Costa Rica. She was playing around with the technology and the Kriyas. I don't do that. Like, I am a firm believer in following the technology to a T. However, I take a very feminine approach because some postures, they ask you to hold for a very extended period of time, where I invite you to listen to your body, to really support yourself, because you are your greatest teacher. You know you better than anyone else. And if you don't, Kundalini will help you get there. And so I take a feminine approach. I take a really modern approach. The music is stellar, so good, always fresh music. And I'm a good time. I'm a good vibe. Like, I'm just going to say it. I'm going to own it, because these are the reasons why you want to practice Kundalini Yoga with me. And so inside this portal, it's my virtual wellness studio. I'm obsessed with it. Satnam sessions. And so I have a favor. I have a request. I have a huge goal of having over 100 people inside Satnam sessions by the end of this year. And I know it's a big, audacious goal. I have close to 40 in there right now. And why 100? Well, because I am here to create a ripple effect. This is my soul's mission, is to create a ripple effect and to support my clients, students, everyone, whomever is in my vortex, to create a ripple effect through sharing their message, their magic, and their medicine. This is what I'm here to do. This is part of my dharma. And I honestly would not be here, and I don't say that lightly. I don't know where I'd be without Kundalini. And I have made it super affordable, super accessible. It's $22 a month, and it's next level. And so I have a huge favor. I want to get this into the hands as of many people possible, because again, I know what it's done for me. I've seen what it's done for others. We have proof everywhere we go. I have proof. I'm seeing it. I'm feeling it. I'm living it. And I have a huge mission to have over 100 people in there by the end of this year, and then beyond. Like, I know it's possible. I see that it's possible for everybody else. And so I'm really like owning this. And so if you feel called to try it, you can have a 14-day trial on me for free. Please share this with your people. If you know someone who would benefit from this potent practice of Kundalini Yoga, I would invite you to share it with them. And just let's have everyone try this 14-day trial for free on me. No strings attached. If it's not your jam, it's not your jam. But I know my community loves to help, because I'm a helper. I will drop anything to help somebody, honestly. And I do so much behind the scenes that people don't see of what I'm doing in terms of helping. And so now I'm asking for help. I have this big goal of having over 100 people in there by the end of this year. And it's not for any other reason other than think of the ripple effect that this is going to create in healing trauma, generational trauma, in really dropping into your personal power, your self-source power, in really manifesting your deepest desires, your big picture visions, all the things, all the things. So this is my special request from you to share Satnam sessions with your people, with your community. Share the love, share the stoke, share this podcast, get it out. Let's shout out from the rooftops of how incredible this practice is. So you can go to the show notes and grab your free trial. And if you are a current client inside Satnam Sessions, I'm so grateful that you're in there, and I love you so much. And yeah, it's just so good to have you there. And so I just am so grateful, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, the depths of my soul. I am so grateful to have you inside with us. And P.S., the retention rate is super high. I do not have many people canceling their memberships. It just doesn't happen. So that's another sign for you to try. And so you can grab your free 14-day trial in the show notes. and I would be forever grateful if you could share this podcast episode with your community, if you shared Satnam sessions with your people, and they can all try it for free for 14 days on me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I am so grateful for you, and I look forward to dropping in with you again next week. So until next time, stay amazing, stay awesome, and go check out Satnam sessions. Thank you so much for dropping in with me today. If you loved this episode, I would be forever grateful if you rated and reviewed. And if you feel called to share it with your community on social media, please tag me so I can thank you personally. Until next time, I will see you on Dropped In.